we have put onto the earth. Now we have an issue of climate change. The climate change is very well accepted, but let's see that how much part of this climate change is because of human activities, that is called as anthropogenic activities, and how much is because of natural forces. Because nature can also change the weather, nature can also change the climate. The weather is day-to-day phenomenon, while climate is a long-term phenomenon. Our climates are controlled by at what latitudes we are living. And each latitude, depending upon solar insolation, has minimum and maximum range of temperature, as well as depending upon its proximity to sea and ocean, it has definite amount of rainfall throughout the year. The climate change can be of many types. It can be warming, which we are facing today. It can be cooling also, which has happened in the past, that Earth has gone into cooling episode. And that too not in very remote past. It is in the latest of 2 million years. We had, in fact, last 500 million years have seen 1 or 2 episodes of global cooling. So it is not only warming, climate change is not only warming, rather it can be cooling also, it can be precipitation beyond average for a long time, lasting for a long time. Even the change in the wind direction is also part of climate change. The wind system which we have, it is again controlled by the latitudes. The winds rise from the equator and they sink at the tropics. They again rise from the 66.5 degree and sink at 90 degree. So there is a full-fledged circulation of wind system that can also change. So let's see that what could be the natural cause of climate change and what could be the anthropogenic cause of climate change, and let's see that which is having more profound effect on the global warming which we are seeing today, which is almost reaching to 2 degrees centigrade. We have to prove this, we have data of last 150 years from thermometers, that is direct data, and we have almost data of last 1,000 years, that is in fact 10,000 years, which is based on indirect data collection, which is called as proxy data collection. Now, if you can remember, most of you from Kerala, if you remember that we had erratic monsoon this time. The monsoon have not left Indian subcontinent as per the meteorologists' prediction. In fact, it lasted much longer, and the pattern of monsoon was also slightly changed from southeast northwest to south to north. This is what I have observed. I have collected a lot of data and I have seen that the wind pattern which is bringing monsoon to us is changing in last 10 to 15 years. It is now more south to north rather than southeast to northwest. Now, the change in the weather pattern, the change in the climate, the change in the average temperature was not only felt in India, but it has been felt all over the world. Roger Federer, a very famous tennis player, when he lost his match to John Millman in United States of America, he blamed to the excessive heat in the arena, which was probably due to the global warming. In Australia, people have started making omelette in the sunshine because the temperature gone beyond 45 degrees centigrade. So people have started making omelette. In 2019, Australia was reeling under very high temperatures, more than 47 degrees centigrade of temperature. And at the same time, in United States of America, the minimum temperature was minus 39 degrees centigrade. And it was 10 degree lower than the average. If you can see the picture, the jeans pant, they have got frozen and they were standing without men or women inside it. You see, I am presenting you mostly from the newspapers. I am not presenting you from any book. I am presenting you from my own knowledge as well as from what is coming in newspaper. And we should be able to see that, read and see that what is happening at the global level. Now the issue is that is this change is a natural change or is this change is an anthropogenic change? For this, we have some direct evidences and we have some indirect evidences. Now, for example, I'm showing you a graph showing 3 episodes of warming in last almost 175 years. 3 episodes of warming we have got, and we had one very big episode of cooling also, the green line. From 1880 to 1900, we had a 20 years of cooling also, and then we had got another warming which was at much lower rate as compared to what we are seeing today. Now, what was the cause of global warming in 1850? What was the cause of global warming in early 19th century? Because at that times, the number of vehicles was not that much as we have today. The number of vehicles, they were not high in numbers, as well as the number of industries, they were also less. Now, if we club all the data from 1950 to 2020, this is the trend of global warming. This is the trend of global warming. We have ups and downs of average temperature, but overall, if you draw a line, then you will find that there is a global warming. So let's see that what could be the natural factors and what could be the man-made factors. Now, whatever heat which we have, it comes from the sun. Over the sun surface, we have reactions in which hydrogen is combining to give you helium, and then helium is splitting to give hydrogen. So we have this radiogenic hydrogen and helium, and this reaction of fission and fusion results into generation of heat. That heat comes on the Earth's surface after traveling for some 8 or 9 minutes into the space and falls on the Earth. It comes as a long wave radiation, but once it interacts with the Earth's surface and goes back, it is converted to short wave radiation. And these short wave radiating heat is not able to penetrate the greenhouse gas envelope which we have in our lower atmosphere. And that causes the warming of the sun. If we remove all the greenhouse gases, then what will happen? Our temperature will go down to minus 18 degrees centigrade. That means the average temperature is, if 15 degree, it will be 33 degree lower. So these greenhouse gases, they are given to the earth as a natural insulation by God. They have been given by God to give you insulation. Now, from where these gases have come? These gases have come through degassing of the earth. All these gases, they have become part of atmosphere through the process of volcanism. The volcanism brings not only lava and magma from inside, it also brings lot of gas, including water vapor, which makes water for us. And these gases, they are going into atmosphere, and our force of gravitation holds it and they become part of greenhouse gases and providing warmth to us. Now, if the volcanic events starts again, if they starts emanating more and more gases, then we will have increase in greenhouse gases in our atmosphere. But what is happening in last 100 in last 1 lakh years or 2 lakh years, the volcanism has become very less and less with time. So the contribution from Earth's interior to the greenhouse gases has become almost negligible. Volcanism is still taking place. Even nowadays, on Reykjavik Island in Iceland, the volcanism is taking place. But in past, we had volcanism just like a flood. We had flooding of lava in Indian subcontinent 60 to 65 million years back, and our Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, these are all states which are actually sitting on volcanic rocks. So we had many volcanic events in the past, but now the volcanic events are lessened and lessened. So the contribution of greenhouse gases from natural source is very unlikely. Now, overall temperature, the average temperature of any place, of any latitude, of any city, of any country, of any state will depend at what latitude we are. And our Earth is rotating on its axis, which is tilted to 22.1 degree. Our Earth is rotating on its axis, which is tilted, and it is this rotation which brings us day and night. The Earth is rotating at the speed of 1600 kilometers per hour. Now, if there is a change in the Earth's tilt, then all heat which is coming from the sun will change from latitude to latitude. And it has been said that the tsunamis which we had in 2004 and 2011, 2004 Indonesian tsunami and 2011 we had in Japan, the churning of water and the shifting of water has made the earth slightly disbalanced, and perhaps the axis has changed from 22.1 to 21.5 degree. If it has happened, then yes, there must be some change in the temperature, average temperature across the globe from equator to pole on north as well as south pole. Now, also from time to time, on the sun surface, we used to have solar spot activity. We used to have solar spot activity, sun spot activity, which creates solar flares, And whenever we have such activity, extra heat is generated from the sun surface, and that extra heat must be falling on all the planets, including Earth, and creating slightly more warmth. But this action takes place for few days. This action takes place for few days. If you are able to see the video of this sunspot activity, you will be able to appreciate that what happens when sunspot activity takes place. It results into solar flares, solar storms, which affects our magnetic outer magnetic sphere, and which results into loss of communication of electronic communication system. This I have already discussed, that greenhouse gas production from natural source has reduced. Now, oceans, they are the place where CH4 and CO2 is going to be absorbed. Whatever CO2 is created on the earth from natural source or from artificial source by human beings, they are supposed to be absorbed by ocean. But with time, due to continuous absorbance of CO2, CH4, SO2, NO2 from atmosphere, the ocean is becoming acidic. And once the ocean is becoming acidic, its power of absorbing CO2 is reducing. And this is resulting into warming of the ocean water. And warming of the ocean water will create more water vapor. More water vapor means more greenhouse gas. More greenhouse gas means more average temperature. More average temperature means more melting of ice and more evaporation of sea. So actually this process of global warming is feeding itself. Feedback system has developed which is resulting into increase in the global sea surface temperature as well as average temperatures, which you can see from this graph. Now, why we fear global warming? We fear global warming because the global warming will lead to the melting of ice. Melting of ice will result into loss of sweet water. Not only loss of sweet water, if all the ice melts, then the sea level will go up by 9 meters and all our coastal cities will be underwater. So this is the biggest fear. But even if we forget about the melting of ice, let's suppose that there is no melting of ice, then still simple global warming will lead to the volume increase of the ocean waters. It will increase the volume of ocean water just because of warming. If we warm water in utensils on our gas stove, the volume of water increases. So only warming, forget about ice melting, will result into sea level rise. So if you see this graph, the sea level rise can be because of many different factors. It can be solely because of thermal expansion over 2000 meters and below 2000 meters of the surface. So that is the real problem of coastal erosion. Now see this video. What you can see here, what is this? If anybody can tell me what this process is going on, or if he can write or she can write in the message, what actually this is happening. Anyone? If you are really listening, then you can answer that what is happening here. What is this video all about? So that means you are not listening. And if you don't know, then you can write don't know in message. You see, this is a theory which was started by Alfred Wegener in 1900, and that theory is known as continental drift theory. His theory was rejected in 1915. He died, and his theory was put under the carpet. But later on, after First World War and Second World War, when we went for ocean mapping, what we have found that what Alfred Wegener was saying is correct. What he was saying that the Earth must have had a one continent which is called as Pangea, which was broken into different smaller continents. So this video is showing that how Pangea is breaking in North America, South America, Africa, Saudi Arabia, and India. This is now a theory which is very well proved by scientists, and this theory is called as the theory of plate tectonics, which says that Earth is divided into 13 plates as of today, and all these plates, they are moving in different direction at a speed of 5 to 10 to 20 centimeter per year. So if our continents, they are moving at the rate of 5 to 10 to 20 centimeter years, in last 500 years, they must have shifted their place by 5 to 10 meters. So this may also have an effect on overall temperature system. Now this rate of shifting of continents at the rate of 5 to 10 or 20 centimeter can be very well understood by this diagram, which I have made on my own fingers. This is the ink which we use in election. The rate of growth of our nails, that is the rate by which all the continents and countries they are moving in different direction, as shown by this map. This theory, which was given by Alfred Wegener, continental drift theory, is now resolved into a theory which is called as the theory of plate tectonics. So if this is happening, then overall temperature must also be changed from latitude in last 500 years. But the shift is only 5 to 10 meters in last 500 years. Perhaps this 5 to 10 meters may not be able to have an effect which can be measured as far as global warming or cooling is concerned. We have got some indirect evidences of past temperatures. We have got records from farmers' diaries, from travelers' diaries, from ship captains' diaries, and people have reconstructed the temperature of last 5 to 6 centuries. Scientists have studied the advancement and receding of glaciers, and they have been able to calculate the average temperatures in the past. If you can see here the huge block of rock, which does not have similar rock some 30 kilometers away from this place. So the question is that how this rock has come here. The answer is that it must have been brought by glacier, which must have come up to this place in 2 million years back when we had ice ages. Now there is no more glacier, but the rocks are left. But this indicates that we had an overall temperature warming trend in last 2 million years. So this is called as erratic. See the peak of a hill. Someone have taken photograph and the same month, same date, and you see the ice cover is being lost. So such loss is interpreted as average global warming. A few days back, there was a news that no snow on Mount Fuji, 130-year record broken. But in fact, after this news which came on 31st October, after a few days, that is 7th November, the snowfall has taken place. But of course, it has broken the record of last 130 years. But the question is that what was the reason 130 years back when there was no snowfall on Mount Fuji? That must have been a natural cause rather blaming the human beings. Scientists have collected ice cores from the deep drilling onto the Antarctica and North Pole, and they have collected almost 20 kilometers of ice cores through deep drilling. From these ice cores, they have taken out gas from the bubbles which have been trapped in the ice. And from that bubble, they have calculated that what was the percentage of oxygen, what was the percentage of nitrogen, carbon dioxide, CH4 in the past atmosphere. They have data of 8,50,000 years as far as atmospheric chemistry is concerned. And from that data, what they have plotted, average temperature, and it can be seen that from up to 1850, the temperature was almost same, but from 1850, it has started rising, but there was a drop around 1900, then it started rising up to 1950, and from 1950 to 2000, there was again a drop somewhere in 1975. Scientists have also studied stalactites and stalagmites, which are the rock hangings in the caves. They have taken the samples. They have from each layer, they have taken out carbon, hydrogen, and calcium, oxygen, and hydrogen, and they have studied their isotopes to make the reconstruction of past temperatures. You can see it is the graph which is showing stalactite record, which is also called as speleothem. with black lines and instrumental records by different scientists, which again shows that up to 1850 the temperatures have remained same, but after that it has started increasing. Scientists have also studied the trees and they have taken samples from each ring. Each ring represents summer and winter. The light ring is summer growth and the dark ring is winter growth. Winter growth is always less, summer growth is always more. So they have taken carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen and they have separated them into their different isotopes. And from different isotopes, they have reconstructed that the temperature is rising with a little cooling at 1800 to 1825. Similarly, there is another study which is called as thermoluminescence study, which results due to reaction of sunlight with trace elements or rare earth elements clinging over quartz mineral in the soil. So that study is called as thermoluminescence study. From that study also, it has been shown that from 1500 to 2000, the temperature is rising. The rise was low up to 1700, but from 1700 onward, the rate of rise has increased in many fold. Now, actually, what happens that 240 watt per square meter of heat comes on the ground, and when it goes back, it is only 175 watt per square meter. So there is a deficit of almost 65 watt square meter, which is actually creating global warming, and average temperature is moving beyond zero towards one if you are able to see the diagram. In last 800 years, not only carbon dioxide but methane has also gone up. It has started going up and down from 1800 and so on a very regular basis. But in last 50 years, 26 to 50 billion, 50 years, the rise is almost vertical. The rise is almost vertical. So not only CH4, CO2 and CH4, both they are creating the problem and resulting into global warming. Who is contributing? There are different countries, developing countries and developed countries, all are contributing. All are contributing. The developed countries, they have contributed. They have, in fact, they have filled the atmosphere with lot of greenhouse gases in their time of industrialization. Still, they are releasing lot of CO2 and CH4. But the developing countries, because of very high population, India and China, they are being accused as far as emanation of CO2, CH4, and nitrous oxide is concerned. All these gases, they are coming out not only from industries, but also from vehicles as well as from agricultural activity. This is the biggest problem. Even our agricultural activity, which looks to be harmless, they are also contributing in emanation of greenhouse gases. If we club all the data, from all the records, direct as well as indirect, this is the final result in which you can see in the last we have rise just like a hockey stick. A paper was published in 2003 by MacCritic from Canada, whose paper is called as hockey stick paper, which suggests that overall global warming has started in last 50 or 75 years. We cannot blame the nature. It is we who have to blame ourselves. ये सूरज की साजिश नहीं है, खुद जमी सेक रहे हैं हम. This is not the handiwork of the sun as far as extra heating and warmth which we are getting. Rather, it is our own handiwork. So this is what is the final graph of global warming up to 2023. Why we fear global warming? What is the fear? The fear, there are some obvious reasons that we are fearing global warming, and there are some less obvious reasons which we don't see, but they are also there. We have global warming and melting of ice. We have more runoff. We have loss of sweet water, increased desertification, more humidity, severe weather conditions, sea level rise. But there is one green lining, that is increase in agricultural produce. There are some less obvious reasons: local to regional migrations, increase in certain diseases, ocean current patterns are becoming erratic, that is thermohaline conveyor, changed agriculture patterns, crop failure has become very common because of extreme weather conditions from time to time. Animal migration has also taken place. We are hearing nowadays lot of events in which panthers and tigers, they are moving out of forest and coming to the populated areas. That is something to do with the climate change, ecological imbalance, and crop loss due to the extreme weather conditions. These are the less obvious reasons. The effect can be seen everywhere. Ice, may it be ice hockey where there is no ice in Ladakh, or it may be making of tussar silk in which the worm which is producing silk is not living for a longer days, it is dying in a much shorter days because of extra warmth which we have. So the problem is that warming is there, and because of this warming, not only we have direct suffering due to extra heat, but also due to the extreme weather condition which keeps on happening all over the world. The latest one was in Spain, where more than 200 people died in the flash flood. No one was expecting this kind of flash flood in the Spain. Similarly, what has happened in Dubai last year in the month of April, when there was extreme flooding, a flooding which we have biblical parallels, that is called as biblical flooding, which has happened in the time of Prophet Noah, when all the world was underwater and only those who could be saved who have came into his boat. So nowadays the same kind of situation keeps on happening, but there is no who can save us. एक नूह ही नहीं जो हमें कश्ती में बिठा ले, वरना आसार तो मौजूद हैं तूफान के सारे. Latest news, if you can see, that is on 21st November, driest monsoon period recorded in Uttarakhand. Uttarakhand was reeling under forest fire this year, and our we don't have that much of resources to douse the forest fire. It is only we are banking on the rain, and the rain got delayed, and it has become much less. So the forest fire have longer, much more than what it used to last in previous years. So not only in Uttarakhand, even in California, there is a forest fire which is raging from last 10 years, and it could not be completely doused till date. So all these are problems related to the climate change. But what is happening, what we are doing to check this climate change, we are holding international conferences every year, here and there. More than thousands and thousands of people, they are going and coming to these conferences, they are discussing, but no solution has yet come. So I have listed all those important conferences which has held world over, and the latest one with some reminders I have put COP27, that is Conference of Parties 27, which has happened in Egypt. You can see that the cartoon came, which shows that we are still behaving like an ostrich. We are not able to see the danger. Rather, we are putting our eyes into the sand so that we cannot see the danger, but danger is there. So, a lot of issues are cropping up, but there is no solution. COP28 held in United States of America in 2023, and then there was that flood. Yeah, only yesterday, COP29 Baku has came to close, in which still there is no consensus. This time, the focus was on funding, that who is going to fund. The third world countries, they are asking for 1.3 trillion fund for checking the climate. They want money only. The third world is wants money, and actually nothing has come out of COP29. And as far as I know, more than 8,500 people have come to attend this conference. Just see how much CO2 they must have released while coming and going. As far as India is concerned, India slips to 10th in climate change performance index, and we rank 26 in children's climate risk index. It is the future of our children which is at stake. It is the future of our children which is at stake. And the fight is that let's not allow the global average temperature, which has already increased by 1.5 degrees centigrade, let's not allow to go beyond 2 degrees. This is the fight, but this fight is again only on paper. If the global warming goes beyond 2 degrees centigrade, the extinction of animals will increase, the loss of coral reefs will increase, the sea level rise will be very high, the event of crop failure will increase, we will lose all the sea ice in Arctic, there will be extreme heat condition, and there will be water scarcity. Many of us must have started seeing and observing all these things. Now, for me, there is another issue which is much bigger issue than climate change. You see, the climate change can be somehow adopted. We can adopt the climate change, which is really a bit slower. We may be able to adopt it. But the environmental disorders which are taking place through pollution, this is much bigger problem. What I think that the bigger problem is pollution rather climate change. But yes, some of the pollution lead to the climate change also. So there is a double whammy. There is a double whammy. If you can read in English, 100 people world over dying every 30 minutes because of various diseases caused by environmental disorders. Lot of new disease and lethal disease have come up. Zika, Ebola, dengue, cancer, flu, diabetes, corona. In India, 138 people per lakh people died because of pollution. And 2024 June data in Urdu, atmospheric pollution leads to the death of 464 kids every day. Every day. In 2021, more than 1,29,400 kids died because of pollution. So, what I think the bigger problem is pollution. All our metropolis cities, all our big cities, they are under severe pollution condition. You must have heard of lot of news from Delhi. The pollution in Delhi is not new. When we were a student in 1980s, when we used to think of going to Delhi, we used to make a point that we will not wear a white shirt, because if we wear white shirt in Delhi, it will become grey. So there was a lot of pollution from 1980s to 1998. From 1998, when the vehicles shifted to gas, CNG, compressed natural gas, the pollution level has dropped. Now, if you can see the graph, pollution level started dropping from year 2000, and it has the drop up to 2007, and then from 2007 the pollution level has started going again. 17 years ago, everyone saw Delhi's air take a deadly U-turn, but no one did a thing. यानी 2007 में के बाद pollution level फिर increase करने लगा, but none has given a thought why this has happened. Why? Even after using CNG, we have very high pollution in Delhi because of very big number of vehicles. The loans which were given for buying vehicles and to promote vehicle industry, we have ruined our atmosphere. And of course, industrialization. India is capital of diabetics. India is capital of diabetics. 2015-16 data shows that out of 10 most selling drugs, 5 were for diabetes. Number 1, 2, 6, 7, and 10. They were of diabetes. Why we have become a diabetic capital of the world? Only during COVID period 2019-2022, diabetic medicine became second or third. Viral medicines, they were at the top. But from April 2023, the diabetic medicines have again regained their lost position. So it is something to be happy or something to be uh, sad. What is causing diabetes all through India? What is causing diabetes all through India? Is it only the sedentary life and refined food? No, my farmer, which is living away from polluted area, away from polluted area, but he still is a diabetic. So actually, it is through air that the chemicals have reached far-flung areas, and they are playing with our metabolic activities and creating diabetes. These were the some news very in the October. Cities air quality likely to turn very poor today. 17.4 lakh fines imposed on 76 violators over the stop. You can see the Delhi, the data from Delhi of pollution. And then from October, it has started more and more. And ultimately, the Delhi got choked. And now the news started coming about the problem in Delhi. Let Delhi breathe. Why only Delhi should breathe? Why not other cities should also breathe? Supreme Court refuses to relax GRAP. GRAP is Graded Response Action Program. So we are grappling to enforce GRAP. We are grappling to enforce GRAP because everybody wants to move, everybody wants to use its vehicle. And the rich persons, they are going to Uttarakhand to make their pollution. Rather than vacation, they are going to Uttarakhand for pollution. But going to Dehradun and Masuri through our vehicles, now we are having a new expressway from Delhi to Dehradun. It is now the turn of Dehradun, which is going to be the most polluted city, which is already actually there as far as Uttarakhand is concerned. But if you see around Delhi, all cities in national capital region, they are painted red, orange, and yellow. They are painted red, orange, and yellow. Air apocalypse. Air apocalypse. All cities are polluted. So actually, we share pollution. With the change in the direction of wind, Delhi shares its pollution with Meerut, and when there is again change in the direction of wind, Meerut will send back the pollutants to Delhi. So it is all shared. We are sharing our pollution. We are sharing our pollution. So if we want to keep things good as far as pollution is concerned, we have to have some formula for all the cities, for all the countries. Yesterday, I was seeing a video that Beijing has become blue Beijing. The Beijing was orange Beijing, highly polluted some 8 years ago. Now it has become a blue Beijing. Means you can see the blue sky in Beijing. That is why, because we have checked on our pollution. Swachh Bharat Abhiyan was started in 2014 to put into the psyche of each and everybody the cleanliness, aspects of cleanliness. Government of India is putting 60,000 crore rupees per year. In our colleges and in our universities, we are celebrating Swachh Bharat Pakhwara. For 15 days, we try to clean. But the problem is not with the cleaning only. The problem is how much waste is getting generated and where this waste is going. We are creating hills and mountains of waste. This is the picture of Ghazipur landfill site in Delhi, which failed like hills fail in landslide, and it has killed 4 persons. So the problem is where to put our waste. We are making hills and mounds of garbage which are burning and putting lot of carbon dioxide and CH4 into the atmosphere. So the biggest problem is of waste generation. What can we do to reduce waste? What can we do to reduce waste? How can we reuse? How can we recycle? This has to be taken up on a very big scale, which we have not taken yet. If you see this data, from year 2000 to 2015, the waste generation has gone by 2075% in Delhi. Imagine 2075%. In 15 years, it has not doubled, tripled, or got 10 times more, got 100 times more, 2075%. Similar cases with the Bengaluru, 1750. These two cities, the most advanced, most developed cities. But if you see the Kolkata, in the same 15 years, only 8.3% rise, which can be justified with the rise in population. The rise in waste generation can be there, yes, of course. But what is happening to Bangalore and Delhi? Perhaps online buying, online buying and purchase creates lot of waste, lot of waste. So this is the problem. The problem is of waste disposal. Where to put our waste? To keep Delhi clean, we are putting waste into Ghaziabad. To keep Ghaziabad clean, we are putting waste to Meerut. Should Meerut suffer to keep Ghaziabad clean? Disease caused by Meerut waste ground claims 22 lives. Are we a filthy nation? Whose responsibility it is? Whose responsibility it is? Are we a filthy nation? Are we are not concerned with what is being generated? India Today has published in 1993 cover story, Can we clean the mess? Can we clean the mess? And now, again, they have to publish similar story in 2014, that is after 21 years, Dirty Nation. Perhaps they will be coming up one more story in 2025. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. See what you have in the background. Which building you have in the background? Can anybody tell and identify? Everybody is sleeping perhaps. In the background we have Taj Mahal. In the foreground what we have? The waste. On the bank of Yamuna. On the bank of Yamuna what we have? We have waste and waste. The garbage is a collector's item. You should throw only biodegradable waste on daily basis. That too at a point where collection can be done. No inorganic waste should be allowed to go outside your house before a week. One should keep it into its house and give it to the persons who are buying waste. It should not be thrown into the garbage. Air pollution. We have put lot of monitors. Everywhere we have put monitors, which will tell us the air quality index. How knowing is going to affect us? We will see, read at red lights, and then we will go. We will change the levels. But ultimately, where is the solution? Parali burning is being touted as one of the big pollution activity from Punjab and Haryana. But don't you think that the people of Punjab and Haryana will suffer first, then Delhites and other people will suffer? The source from where the pollution is created, that will suffer more as compared to other places. So, for example, if India is not cutting carbon dioxide emission on the pretext that we are developing country, so it will kill our own population first, then to the other people in other countries. मौसम बदल रहा है, अब हवा में नए ताजा प्रदूषण की गंध है. The weather is changing, the winter is coming, and now we have new smell of pollutants. Extreme heat and pollution will kill 3 crore people in Asia, in the world. This is today's news. What we do, we buy air purifier. We buy air purifier for each room. And then we have big air purifiers put on the crossroads. It has been put in Ahmedabad, Chandigarh, Delhi, and Hyderabad and whatnot. So what we are doing, we are creating doom, and then we are trying to make money out of that. So actually, we try to see opportunity of making money everywhere. First create doom and then make boom. Delhi smog 30 times WHO's recommended limit. This is old news. So why it is happening? What is the cause? Use of polythene bags. Use of more material. We have become highly materialistic. We used to have 1 or 2 pair of shoes. Now we have shoes for matching with each and every cloth. Dennis is saying to his mother that, Mom, you need more legs rather than more shoes. You need more feet rather than more shoes. The water pollution is another big issue. It is very easy to buy a bottle of water. But if we think that what goes into production of that 1 bottle water, first of all, loss of 3 times the water in the bottle and energy. Of all the waters which we have, only 2.5% is the fresh water. And out of this 2.5%, 68.6% is logged as ice, which we don't want to be unlocked. 30.1% is groundwater. 0.26 is lake and 0.03 in river, which both are polluted. We are relying heavily on the groundwater. And the groundwater levels are going down and down with time. People who are not getting water easily in many places in India, they know the issue of water pollution and water availability. The Prophet has said that don't waste water even if you are standing along a running stream. Do not waste water even if you are at a running stream. Our university system, college system, they should have water treatment plants. This is our university's one of the water treatment plant. We have 2. One is running on electricity, that is energy, and one is without electricity. I am giving you example of STP without electricity. You can see the 2 waters, grey water and the clean water. So we need such kind of STPs everywhere. We have to collect the drain water from the ROs. Now the industry has impressed upon us very strongly that we should have ROs. Okay, if we want to have ROs, then do not allow its waste going into the drain. Use it for bathing, use it for flushing, use it for mopping, use it for washing kitchen utensils, use it for irrigating. I use it even for bathing. This is my own RO and the 2 buckets which I use to collect water from the drain. We have to do this if we want to keep our Earth system alive and lasting? What could be the solutions? From where the solution will come? Who will bring the solution? Never ending parallels. Will it come from society? Will it come from different regions? Will it come from some countries? Everybody is blaming other. No solution is coming. The only solution we have got is that we are observing individual days for individual issues all through the year. But the thing is that we should observe each of these days on every day of the year. International Environment Education Day should not be observed only on 26 January, rather it should be observed from 1st January to 31st December. So is the case with World Forestry Day or World Fisheries Day or World Conservation Day. Every day we should observe all these days. Students have started protesting. Greta Thunberg from Sweden, 5 years back, she started a strike in schools on every Friday to impress upon the government of Sweden to do something for the kids whose future is in coming decades. Because the pollution and the global warming which we are putting is going to affect those who are now kids. Lot of students all over the world, including India, have started protesting. But no solution has yet come. Lot of individual persons have started doing different things. Climate activists to use drones to shut UK airport, for example. CSR scientists ring in wrinkled Mondays to fight climate change. 4 people killed every week in 2017 to protect environment. Man walks 700 kilometers backward to impress upon the importance of forest. United States lawyer and a member of Senate, David Buckle, has put oil onto him and lit the match to himself and he died. He self-immolated himself to protest damage to the planet. He said that fossil fuel will burn the earth as it is burning me. He lost his life. He lost his life. So there are a lot of individual persons who are trying to do something for the environment. Lot of IIT professor wants everyone, even PM Modi, to wear wrinkled clothes, no ironed clothes. Uttarkashi, you take out 2 hours to thank nature. We must draw from India's climate history. This respects topography, hydrology, and nature as a capital. In fact, no. Solar panels have come in a big way as one of the way to check the climate change, so that we can turn on thermal power and diesel power generation of electricity. Solar panels. It has become very common. This is the ground-mounted solar panel plant in our university. Churches run on solar energy. So our soul and solar energy both should go hand in hand. In Denmark, capital of Denmark, Danish capital Denmark, Copenhagen has 650,000 cycles. They have 650,000 cycle and they have 6 lakh population. They have 50,000 cycle extra. Anybody can take any cycle and can go anywhere. But what happened in our own country? We have forgotten to drive cycle. We are moving on scooters and cars. This is the graveyard of cycle in Saharanpur district of UP. These cycles numbering more than 5 lakhs, they have been left over by the laborers who fled Punjab and Haryana during COVID period by bicycle. They came to Saharanpur and from here the government has arranged for the trains for their destinations. So they have left these cycles 3-4 years back, 5 years back, and all these cycles got rotten. What can we do? What can we do? What is the easiest way of helping our environment? What is the easiest way of helping our environment? By planting more and more trees. But you have to think of source for water to irrigate these trees. And the source of water should be that which is going out of drain into drain from ROs. All our colleges and universities, they are wasting water like anything through such kind of ROs. We are most to be blamed. We are to be blamed as an educational institutes. Reform the cities. We are having smart city projects. FORM. We don't need FORM. REFORM. No, we need REFARM. Reform the cities. Reform the cities. IPL, which has held, last year, it has pledged that on every dot ball, they will plant 500 trees. They have pledged it. They have shown it on the TV. But where is the proof that they have planted 500 trees for each dot ball? They have replaced the green dot with the green trees. But is there anybody to check? Is there anybody to check? We should increase the number of trees. We should reduce carbon emission levels. We should reduce concrete jungles. We should increase number of lakes. All these can be helpful because it is to be started from a very local level, from an individual level. Because it is individuals and local issues which actually culminate into global issues. Local laparwahi, global warming. Local indiscipline will create worldwide indiscipline. For the first time in my almost 35 years in Aligarh, in this summer we had the municipal corporation has put green sheet over the crossroads. Wherever we have red lights, they have put these green shade because of excessive heat. So this is a big issue. This is a big problem which has come and we have to fight it. And we have to see that how much we are responsible. Civilization have been destroyed many times and this civilization is no different. We can think of time in terms of millions of years and life will resume little by little. The cosmos operates for us very urgently, but geological time is different. There is no life on other planet because their scientists were more advanced. We will ruin our planet. Sarpalli Radhakrishnan Saab has said, the human being is nothing more than the latest of a long series of living creatures. Even if evolution of life does not proceed higher than the human species, science threatens us with the possibility of its extinction. 5 extinctions have already taken place in the world. 5 extinctions have already taken place all over the world in last 4,550 million years. Starting from 560 million years, in last 560 million years, 5 extinctions have already taken place. In 75 to 85% of the life has been lost. But all those extinctions, they were natural, forced by nature, and they took millions of years to complete. The latest one was dinosaur extinction in 65 million years back. But today's extinction, which will be the 6th extinction, will be carried forward by human beings. People have started writing books that how to survive in the global warming. Nowadays, it has become fashion to put all the solution, all the issue blaming climate change. There is a book written by Elizabeth Colbert, which I am not able to show you. Elizabeth Colbert, The 6th Extinction. You please try to read that book. That we are heading towards 6th extinction. It will take few thousand years and there will be some extinction. Animals have already gone into some kind of extinction. Scientists are also working, on the other hand, to come out with some solutions. That is called as geoengineering. Geoengineering solutions, scientists have worked on laboratory scale, that what we can do to check the global warming or climate change. but still it is at the lab stage. It is still at the lab stage. If you can see this is a poster painting from Fortis Hospital, Escort, Delhi. By putting this poster, they are trying to show that we should grow more trees which will be good for our lungs. And inside their building, they have put plastic plants. See how the man is fooling himself. Inside the building, they have put the plastic plant, you can see here. And they are putting a poster to go for green. Lot of us keep plastic plants in our house. Shun it. Shun it. Do not use plastic plants. If you are interested, you can plant in earth pot. Even a blade of grass gives you oxygen and takes carbon dioxide. Even if you can grow grass, that is good for environment. Forget about growing big trees. Even a single blade of grass is giving you oxygen. Urban renewal, a smart city project is nothing but knock down and drag out business. Painting the walls. But the trees which were sowed in the pots, they have all dried. And in Aligarh, the commissioner, who is a smart city project commissioner, has its wall draped with plastic grass and plastic trees and has put the slogan Green Aligarh, Clean Aligarh. See how we are making fool of us. What do you mean by green? Only green color? Or green means green trees? This is again an example of our own university. These are the trees, Ashoka trees, if you can identify. I don't know, is it growing in South India or not? This is Ashoka trees, which used to be a very big tree. But by pruning and cutting, we are keeping it short. Actually, we are playing havoc with the tree. It is not the bark which is going to give you oxygen. It is the leaf and tree. The big size tree is going to help you more. If you want to prune your trees, you plant a small tree. But this is happening in our universities. So if this happens in our universities, what to talk of other places? दुआ करो कि सलामत रहे शजर का बदन. बहारे बरगो समर आती जाती रहती है. Pray that the body of tree remains alive. Spring with flowers and fruits will keep coming and going. A poet, very famous poet, Miraj Faizabad. See, in 2020, what was the stage of tree, and 2022, what has happened? 2 of the trees have died. Is it the way to treat the tree? Is it the way to treat the tree? Supreme Court proposes first ever tree census in capital. Why Supreme Court is so much interested in tree census in capital? Everything will be solved by census. What have happened when Kawar Yatra route when 1.12 lakh trees were uprooted and cut? Where was the Supreme Court? They will just be interested in census. There is a term which is called as Earth Overshoot Day. Earth Overshoot Day. I'm not going to discuss this, but you can go through net and see Earth Overshoot Day. Means how much Earth can give to us. On yearly basis, how much Earth can produce and how much we spend in a year. So I'll just come to the last picture. The Earth Overshoot Day. In whatever resources we have on the Earth, in 1970, it has lasted for 362 days. 3 days were remaining so that we can borrow from the next year's lot. But from 1970, if you go on, from 2018, if you start seeing, we are finishing the resource in 153rd day in 2018, 151st day in 2019, 133rd day in 2020. And then in overshoot day came on to 2nd August and 29 July in 21-23, and now it is 123 days. In 123 days, we are using all the resource. So I am almost reaching the last slides. If we pollute the air, water and soil that keep us alive and well, and destroy the biodiversity that allows natural system to function, no amount of money will save us. We are asking for 1.3 trillion. That is not going to save us. We have to start bit by bit. Earth, no deposit, no return. If we don't sow the seed, you are not going to get anything. Think the world owes you a living. We are already paid. We are already paid. And this is the last slide. If you can find on the left side, we have Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, the founder of this university, who was too close to the nature, who was very close to the nature. Even people have lampooned him for his love to the nature. If you can see, he is playing with the snakes, and you can see cacti behind him. The cartoon came in 1881, touting him as a naturey yogi. But he was far-sighted, far-sighted, which you can see in the form of not only Aligarh Muslim University, but also we are one of the greenest university. But of course, with a question mark that we are pruning lot of trees and giving them different shapes, which is not good and which is not at all warranted. That's all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Masroor Alam Saab, for your very engaging presentation and also rather emotional presentation, I would say. Because towards the end of the presentation, you have been very emotional because of your love for nature. Friends, I think we have one important message that we take home. That is, even a single blade of grass that produce oxygen. So he was just mentioning the paradox, what is happening in our universities, in our offices, etc. We are speaking of green, only color, actually. All the artificial plants, everything we have set everywhere, including my own institution, we have put all these things. But we are least bothered to develop or grow even a single blade of grass. Sir, well, such a very insightful talk, and you have a final slide actually. It is a very eye-opener to me also because 8081 cartoon that by Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, the great visionary leader who set up the Aligarh Muslim University to be a green campus in that way. Friends, it is time is limited because already we have crossed to 5 minutes. So we don't take any questions at this time because we have to rejoin online by 12:30. Just one question only, one reaction only we can take because otherwise we'll be taxing the others. Just anyone can raise any one question only, please. Otherwise, we will go to the next session with the vote of thanks. Anyone of you? Sir, would you share this slide to us?
Yes.
Sir? Yes.
They are making record of this.
Yes, sir, because it is very useful, it is very attractive, and also very informative also. Because our faculty consists of different disciplines. So I think it will be very useful to them also. So is there any one question? Just one question, please.
Okay, no issue. If somebody wants
now I think we can go to the last part of it. I now call upon Mr. Muhammad Wasil. Muhammad Wasil, you are the head of the Department of English to propose the vote of thanks to Professor Saab, please.
Okay, good evening, sir, and good evening to all of you. I'm Mr. Muhammad Masroor, Department of Civil Engineering at Aligarh Muslim University. Your class was very resourceful and informative. As our principal, Usmanji, told, class was very informative and high-breaking one. we are not opening our eye into very small and small issues which are breaking our issues. So your slides, especially you told about air pollution and water pollution, how water pollution and air pollution are impacting our everyday life and the everyday life of Indian civilians. So I thank on behalf of Grace Valley College and MMTT and Elegant Muslim University, and to thank to a coordinator Sida Lashmi and the principal of our college, Sir Dr. Usman, and thank to our resourceful and today's our lecturer, Masroor Alam, and to the participants who participated in the program with very enthusiasm and interest. And I think let us conclude here. Okay,
Okay.
thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, okay, we see you again 5:30. Participants, please be on
Okay,
time.
see you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.